With Emblem Corrin added to our ranks, each country's rings have been collected.
Right. No more rings in the wild. Between us and Sombron, they've all been taken.
Let's consider the situation. There are 5 emblems on our side. Lyn, Lucina, Ike, Byleth, and now Corrin.
Meanwhile, the Fell Dragon's got 7 in his grubby claws. Most of them are old allies. Marth, Sigurd, Celica, Micaiah, Leaf, and Roy. As well as another emblem ring his forces stole from Lethos, the Azure Twins.
To gather all 12, we will need to face the enemy directly.
Are you proposing we invade Elusia?
Returning to Elusia already.
Yeah, that's gotta be complicated.
Indeed. But that aside, invading Elusia now would be a mistake. They have a clear advantage. 7 emblems to our 5.
The worst case scenario is that they steal more of our rings. That's what concerns me.
If that happens, we can abandon all hope of defeating the Fell Dragon.
But the longer we wait to attack, the more likely it is they'll attack us.
It's best that we strike first. One never wants to be on the wrong end of an ambush.
We're not ready to take the offensive. Rockin' a hard place, huh?
Pardon the interruption.
Vander, what is it?
Word from the port of Solm. A number of warships were spotted on the horizon. Judging from the crests on their sails, they appear to be Elusian vessels.
They're attacking the Queendom again?
No. In fact, the fleet sails toward Firene.
My kingdom.
We'd better take a look for ourselves.
Let's head to the Azure Coast. It's near the border, and it's got a clear view of the sea.
Smooth sailing. At this rate, we'll be the first ones in Firene.
It would seem so.
Wonder why Zephia told us to go ahead. Our orders are to kill everyone we see, right? With this kind of head start, think of the body count we can get. We'll be heroes! Seems like Zephia's really taken a shine to us. Don't you think, Mavir?
I do not particularly care. I have my orders, and I will follow them.
See, this is why I can't stand you. You never praise me, and you're no fun at all. I thought Chris was bad. At least he's not the boringest man in the world.
Lady Marnie, Sir Mavir.
You got something to report?
2 soldiers have deserted the fleet.
Perhaps they had reservations about the current strategy.
Whatever. Leave them be. We'll catch up later and beat the daylights out of them.
But they took an emblem ring.
What?
Explain.
As a precaution, we kept each ring on a separate ship in the fleet. These soldiers attacked the guard on watch and stole the ring of the Azure Twins. Warships are already in pursuit.
We will take chase as well. The ring must be returned at any cost. These soldiers, what are their names?
Rosado and Goldmary.
Princess Hortensia's retainers? I thought those two were behaving themselves lately.
No longer, it seems. Do we know where they went?
They were headed to Solm by Wyvern.
All right. Turn this ship around. Take us to the coast of Solm. Ugh. We were in the lead. Those two are in heaps of trouble.
We're in Solm now. I think it's safe to say we lost them.
Perhaps we should pause for a moment then. I'm sure your wyvern needs to rest her wings.
Good idea. Let's take a breather and then start looking for Hortensia. We have to make sure she gets the ring of the Azure Twins.
Indeed.
Aha! There they are!
Let's seize them! Is a few minutes rest really too much to ask?
Let's get out of here, Goldmary.
That's an Elusian fleet, all right. And it does look to be headed toward Firene. We have to get there before they do.
That'd be nice, but look. We've got Elusian soldiers on the beach. You wanna attack again, huh? I'll give you a good old-fashioned Solmic welcome.
That's not enough troops for an invasion. It looks more like a search party.
Divine One! There's a wyvern coming this way!
They must have spotted us. Everyone, at the ready!
Hold on! Rosado? Goldmary!
Huh?
Hortensia!
You're not hurt, are you? I was so worried.
Not as worried as I was! Oh, I'm so happy you two are alive!
Nice to see you and your retainers back together again.
The Divine Dragon! Watch out!
Put that away, Rosado! I'm on the Divine Dragon's side now. My sister is too.
Princess Ivy as well?
Psst. If you're being held against your will, blink 3 times.
I swear, it's not like that. I wanted to join them, so I did. I made this choice for Illusia. Question is, as my retainers and my friends, will you join me?
Alright, if this is what you want, then it's what I want too.
Whatever banner you're under, I will defend it with all my might.
Good. I knew I could count on you two.
Divine One? Sorry for drawing my weapon on you. Here, this is yours.
Is this?
The Ring of the Azure Twins. We stole it from the ship we were on.
Thank you.
Good going.
I hope my dazzling abilities do not blind you.
This is just what we needed. Restore calm! Emblem of the Sacred!
Finally, I am returned to your side. My name is Eirika. I raise my sword in hopes that peace will come to this world at last.
I know we can depend on you, Eirika. Now, which of you should I give this ring to? You're both to thank for bringing it here.
You ought to give it to Rosado. Rosado flew us here. He was instrumental in our escape.
You were too, Goldmary, but there's no time to argue, is there? Lend me the ring and I promise I'll do my part.
It's settled. Here you are, Rosado.
Finally! This is where those thieves ran off to, right?
By all accounts, yes. Now we sniff them out.
Welcome to the Series Beach episode. This chapter is a turning point. It's the final stop in our lap around the world of Elyos. The last map with 2 new recruits, and the last story map before the mid-game arc's exhilarating finale. Chapter 9, the penultimate map of the game's first arc, was the Eye Before the Storm. Chapter 16 is much more of a handful. Unlike Chapter 13, merely an oasis map, this one's truly a beach. It has tides. Every 2 turns, at the end of enemy phase, the water recedes or surges. Any non-flyers forced to wade through water suffer major movement penalties. This is the last map I think of as being built to showcase a new recruit. Later joiners just kind of show up. Rosado's the only natural wyvern in the game, and the first generic flyer recruit since Chloe. They'll use Camille's wings quite well here. Rosado also sports her new emblem Eirika. Ephraim's in there somewhere, but Eirika does the talking. Like Chrom and Robin, I won't fuss over their disambiguation, no mail please. Eirika's an interesting grab bag I'll discuss in a moment. Relevant here, her starting Sing skill adds true damage based on enemy defense. Your first foe is a worm with 32 defense and resistance, submerged in water. What better spot for a wyvern with piercing damage? It's a shame Rosado makes an awkward first impression after all that trouble. You'll still appreciate his contributions. The first few turns matter most. Once the worm's gone, we'll have 2 turns of low tide to advance to the central island. If you take too long fighting the worm, get stuck in high tides, and let enemy flyers and elf and mage knights encircle you, chaos will ensue. If you reach the center island by then, however, you get more room to maneuver. While there are reinforcements and a bandit trying to raise the village holding a recover staff, you're firmly in control. Tide can work to your advantage by breaking up enemy reinforcements. You can divide and conquer. Fighting Mavier and Marnie in the shoals can go wrong, but with some care they're no worry. There's one team update, Jean. Cap Dex. I should emphasize that capping a stat doesn't mean you ought to leave that class. 29 Dex is more than most units ever see, definitely good enough, and staying in Warrior would probably be best for Jean. As I've discussed, you don't gain much from maximizing Dex unless you're a Royal. When you've gone to the trouble of training Jean up an Archer, however, a mere 29 Dex won't do. Jean will instead enter his home class going forward, Sniper. Now let's not look too hard at the difference in class bases, shall we? Sniper Jean has a 95 Dex growth, the best in Engage by 15 points. The class skill No Distractions, which he'll reach soon enough despite his detours, sets him up perfectly for a player phase quick build. You'd think Sniper can't enemy phase outside Lynn's map, but I'm hoping Jean proves otherwise. With that sorted, what's our team here? Personally, one of my favorite parts of the game is figuring out emblem pairings. There's nothing wrong with keeping a single setup forever, but often there's value in mixing it up, and it's also great fun. This map's a good example. We have enough emblems everyone gets one, and we need to bench 2 of our team members. Seadall's a lock, and he desperately wants Camilla's mobility. That means Anna's without her preferred partner, so benching her is natural. I consider that, but Anna sent out last map for the same reason. And she's actually fallen behind a little. That is not a common problem for me, but I'm happy Anna hasn't monopolized enemy phase. So Anna will see the field. She needs a partner. Who might that be? We need our flyers to be at their best, so let's lock them in. That's Amber with Ike, Ivy with her new friend Corrin, and Merrin with 3 houses. Saline and Citrine also have important niches here. They need Byleth and Lynn. We're left with Tiki, Chrom, and Veronica for Anna and the other free agent Alear. What Veronica's normal partner Chloe offers isn't important here. We're fanning out unlike Chapter 15, and we don't yet have the tools for her to excel on enemy phase sans heavy support. That means it's as good a time as any for Veronica Alear. Kagetsu and Jean are the other bench candidates. Originally, Kagetsu sat this out, but he's both a unit who needs more training, and the one with the emblem Anna works poorly with. That leaves Jean sidelined, and Anna working with Chrom. He's no Camilla, but plus 10 magic is quite the consolation prize. Let's do this. To emphasize the tides, the map floods after preps. Unfortunately, this does mean you might need to retry and reposition, but better now than being surprised later.
Moments ago, the beach was dry, and now the water is up to my ankles. The tide here seems to rise and fall at a moment's notice. Try to keep me on dry land, will you? I'd hate to be stuck tromping around in the water.
Next turn, it'll recede before the 2-turn cycle begins. For the last time, we have 3 new allies. Let's get to know them. After 2 very complicated emblems, it's nice to have a palette cleanser. Eirika offers a simple toolbox without so much trivia. I do need to explain how the twins work. Whoever's deployed with Eirika's ring can switch between Eirika and Ephraim as they make their turn, like the Convoy command. Switching to Ephraim changes Gentility to Bravery and Lunar Brace to Solar Brace, including all inherited copies. When engaged, Eirika's partner and all inheritors get both sides together. Blue Skies combines Gentility and Bravery, and Eclipse Brace combines Lunar and Solar Brace. Eirika's sync bonuses of Magic, Dex, and Luck aren't great on paper, even if some units like Ivy appreciate them. The thing is, her sync skill Gentility gives -3 and then -5 damage taken, and Ephraim's version Bravery gives +3 and then +5 damage taken. When engaged, Blue Skies Plus is pretty much 20 extra sync stats. Gentility itself is ideal on already bulky units. Going from 8 damage taken to 5 or 3 is a lot more impactful than going from 28 to 23. Bravery adds flat damage, rewarding fast units or brave weapon users. The true damage is sometimes better than raw attack or defense. Lunar Brace also adds true damage, but only on player phase physical attacks, scaling based on 20% and 30% of enemy defense. Ephraim's Solar Brace instead heals you on player phase. Gosh, it's almost like Luna and Soul. That's all the skills. They really did keep it short and sweet. The rest of Eirika's kit also keeps things simple. The Engage attack, Twin Strikes, hits with a sword of your choice and Ephraim's Lance Siegmund. Siegmund's effective against corrupted enemies. Twin Strike shreds the worms weak to it. Against others, it's a versatile attack that doubles the effect of your damage stack. Dragons and cavalry get multiplicative damage bonuses, and those are the only conditional bonuses in her kit. Eirika comes with a middling rapier as per tradition, the magic 1-2 range windsword effective against flyers, and the incredible Sieglinde. It's a 12 might 1 range corrupted effective sword. For much of the late game, it's essentially 36 might. I assume Sieg is German for corrupted effective. It's more situational than Seraphim due to 1 range, but it enables devastating enemy phases. That's all the descriptions. What's your game plan? First, I'll note the twins are set up cleverly. Gentility and Solar Brace are best for your own survival, but they're split across the twins. Similarly, the damage bonuses Lunar Brace and Bravery are also split. That makes engaging feel great, because the whole kit suddenly hums. Teamwork makes the dream work. On player phase, Lunar Brace and Solar Brace combine with Bravery to give you lifesteal and massive flat damage for a hit. Then on enemy phase, you can use that HP from Solar Brace with the bulk of Gentility and the offensive Bravery to put in work. If you're primarily interested in just the bulk, Gentility is a great inherit, and Eirika's ring can go to someone else. Offensively, Eirika isn't wedded to either physical or magical damage. She gives magic when synced, but Lunar Brace only boosts physical damage. Gentility and Bravery affect both sides equally. You get a powerful physical weapon and a nifty magic sword. Without DLC or rigging Lilina S for Raging Fire, it's worth noting Eirika offers the best magical damage stack of any Emblem ring available now. All of that suggests Eirika's ceiling is with fast mixed units. The only thing Eirika can't help you do is double, no speed or build. A partner like Chloe or Merrin prefers Bravery over Strength or Magic boosts, prefers Gentility over Defense or Resistance boosts, because they're often fighting mixed groups, appreciates Solar Brace healing when fighting solo, and can double without help from their ring. Units like Clan, Fram, Lapis, and Figado are stepped down statistically, but also have the right vibe. If a unit needs help beyond a skill inherit to double, well, Eirika's not really helping them get there, and if you're not doubling enemies, the flat damage bonuses don't really shine. Well, I see her ceiling is highest with fast, mixed, enemy phase powerhouses. I should note how well Eirika can carry the less fortunate. If you take any physical unit and put them in Halberdier with Eirika, pincer attack means they can always double, and the Brave Lance quadruples the effect of the damage stack. There are similar builds with other Brave weapons. Fran can use the Slashing Fist art, Alkers can use the Brave Bow, etc. As often with emblems, I do think you get the most bang for your buck on enemy phase, but I love being able to take a unit on the edge of viability and at least make them a good player phase attacker. As a 12 emblem, Eirika makes it easy to finish your emblem pairings by not being picky. If Lyn, Lucina, and Ike give any team enemy phase tools, I see Eirika as making sure any team has at least some player phase power. Even base Rosado can be an important piece of the puzzle against enemy worms and bosses thanks to her. If you have a unit in dire straits, Eirika is a great remedy, and almost anyone with her can pull their weight. On the other hand, if you're lucky enough to have an able unit who doesn't need speed support and isn't too frail, Eirika often pushes them from good to great, especially late game when Sieglinde smashes through damage benchmarks. At this point in the game, your team is uniquely your own. Eirika's able to fit in and help you thrive no matter what. I'll try to show off both that utilitarian carry potential and her high ceiling before this series is over. The cutest guy in Elyos makes his debut. Rosado the unit has a bad rap, and I can see why. Even as a fan of his character, I struggle to make him work. It's no wonder he's completely written off by anyone most favorably inclined. He's not for everyone, but I think he's misunderstood, and that's worth unpacking. His very first impression is a wyvern with axe proficiency. That's amazing. Astute listeners may deduce that, if he's still so easy to hate on, his stats must be truly disastrous, and yeah. Most of his bases merely disappoint, but his base strength goes a step further. It's one more than Bunai's. Remember the guy with bad strength who joined many chapters and levels back? I'm going to hype up Rosado a bit, but I can't blame anyone for giving up on a unit who starts so far behind in such an important stat. He's the first pre-promote who didn't promote internally at level 16, so it's somehow even worse than at first looks. He gains XP like a level 11 insta-promoted Wyvern Lapis, who starts only a single point of strength behind. At least his stats get better. To reflect the canonical superhuman power of femboys, I'm only half joking, Rosado sports phenomenal growth. He's one of the only units in the game with good strength and speed growth, with a fantastic HP growth and workable defensive to boot. He has straight up better growth than Panette, no slouch herself. More magic and resistance, trading 10% less build for the strictly better 20% more speed, and matching her elsewhere. With Panette's strength growth, he eventually achieves decent strength, although with his start it's never more than decent. If you double down on those growths, you can treat Rosado as the closest thing Engage has to an Est, as a late-game train project flyer. What does he end up like when trained? Let's be frank, I'd wager many players have never seen a late-game trained Rosado. That means it's worth making a course comparison even though no one matches him perfectly. I'd say he ends up basically where Wyvern Chloe is. Similarly fantastic HP and iffy defenses, a little more strength and a little less speed. That's pretty good. It's worth acknowledging he's not Jean or Anna, who end up with truly elite stats as their growths kick in, but late game Rosado is solidly better than average. I see Vander and Bunei as the only units who struggle to become a superstar even with unreasonable investment. If you're a big Rosado fan and you want him to be your second half MVP, he'll do that with enough help, even if he'd make your life easier feeding those resources to Chloe instead. That's where I thought the story ended, but there's more. I don't think Rosado's best viewed as a pale imitation of the best juggernauts. I'll make a similar pitch as with Amber, even if they're not equally capable. Being a great physical enemy phase unit is difficult, and investing in Rosado to get him there denies a better unit those resources. Rosado is instead set up to be a versatile player phase unit, and he's surpassed my expectations in that role. Think of him as a good special ops guy who thrives targeting small enemy groups like on his drone map. There's always room for more of that on your team. Rosado has legitimately fantastic HP, which doesn't help much over long enemy phases, but does help him survive a few hits at a time. I appreciate Amber's lance proficiency in Wyvern, but Rosado's axe proficiency is better. A axes and B lances is perhaps the single best set of physical weapon ranks, giving full weapon triangle control with one of the many sword emblems, and making Rosado stronger than he seems, wielding the extra might of a silver great axe or brave axe. It's a shame his build isn't ideal for those heavy weapons, but he's a great fit for the emblem's set boost build. He's significantly faster than Amber even when weighed down thanks to much better speed, so he can tailor his weapons to double a lot of foes. He's 2 levels away from air raid, which like Chaos style can let him handle groups with 1 fast enemy. I think the clearest indicator of Rosado's ideal niche is his personal skill, Stunning Smile. 20 hit against male enemies ameliorates his iffy dexterity, and makes him decent even with inaccurate axes. It's not great for a unit soloing maps because it's only active against half your foes, but if you pick your battles it's one of the game's better personals. His atrocious luck is another way Rosado's unreliable against waves of foes, even if it's manageable for a few fights at a time. If you want to simplify a Fire Emblem game, a great plan has historically been finding a flyer, heavily investing in them, and letting them carry you to victory. If that's how you play, Rosado is one of the most disappointing units in the series. It's rare for a pre-promote Wyvern to be anything less than incredible. Rosado struggles to even achieve competence. I've seen this given as evidence Engage wasn't designed around reclassing. Rosado's stats got the nerf hammer because they wanted to curb Wyvern carries, and then second seals were added and they didn't rebalance Kagetsu for his newfound Wyvern access. I think there's a little truth to that in the sense that units are tuned to function out of the box, but I seriously doubt that had anything to do with balancing for a tiny slice of players using an air force to rush through the game. Chloe certainly didn't suffer statistically for her native Wyvern access. I think it's instead that Rosado, beyond not joining when you need some cheering up, simply isn't built to be a juggernaut, and if that's your lens, you'll miss how he can thrive. In a series like this one, Rosado fits in surprisingly well. He's a capable player phase flyer who can do odd jobs, with an emblem less suited to heavy enemy phase combat. He demands attention because you have to actively use his flight, weapon ranks, and versatility, but I enjoy that high skill ceiling, and you can wring a lot out of his toolkit with some effort. Part of that high skill ceiling comes from Rosado's solid emblem pairings and the lack of a standout. Eirika can carry him early until he blossoms into a reasonably fast user of Sieglinde. Sigurd's coming back soon, and makes a ton of sense for the reasons I inherited Cantor and Momentum on Amber. Leaf's also returning soon and lets him take on mixed groups with effective weapons and the like. Marth plays into his player phase potential with break defenses and weapon triangle control. Rosado's HP synergizes with Ike's Wrath, and he has the rare flying silver great axe Great Aether. The right answer may vary from map to map. That takes some getting used to if you normally play with stag pairings. While I do think Wyvern is his standout class and a pretty obvious pick, it's worth noting he can fill other roles if that's what your team needs. Classes like Warrior make it a lot easier to train up a unit without good stats, and he can use his axe proficiency in classes like Great Knight for more specialized roles. Rosado the character tries to bring out the inner beauty in others. He's tolerant and supportive where Goldmary is not. You'll need to be tolerant and supportive of Rosado if you want him to shine on the battlefield. He needs a few traded weapons to shine even on his join map. Eventually Rosado's inner beauty comes out, and you'll get a good unit for your trouble. He sets the tone for future recruits. Kagetsu and company aren't getting upstaged, but if you look beyond raw stats, the late arrivals all have a place. Rosado is one of the last characters I seriously tried to use, but I was pleasantly surprised. If you're a fan, with some love, he's more than capable of giving your team a glow-up. Goldmary doesn't demand your attention when she joins, much to her chagrin. She lacks an emblem initially, and her join map setup to showcase Rosado is one of the worst places for a foot soldier. Goldmary contrasts Rosado with decent bases but poor growths. Her claim to fame is more or less the best defense in Engage. Her personal disarming Psy gives 20 avoid instead of Rosado's hit, also against male foes. As a hint, Goldmary's best taking hits on enemy phase. Her great concrete bulk means she can take enough hits expecting a dodge becomes less risky. Like with Tamara, Goldmary's weakness is her offense, with the unfortunate combo of lackluster strength, dex, and speed. The dex is worse than it looks. Because she lacks a hit boost in personal, she has some of the game's worst hit rates. As I've discussed with Goldmary's predecessors, weak tanks generally perform worse than glass cannons. If you're playing ambitiously, the goal of enemy phase is eliminating foes, not simply chipping them. You can't make up for poor combat with volume. On the bright side, Goldmary joins in a high floor class, Hero. She's just 200 XP from Brave Assist, and it's pretty easy to earn a deployment slot with workable stats and passive chip damage. I personally enjoyed giving her Sigurd and Dual Assist. Seeing her chain attack from off the screen thanks to Gallop and Dual Assist really cracks me up. Her lance proficiency synergizes nicely, giving her better override damage than your average hero despite her strength. Fire Emblem games are easier when relying on a few units for primary combat and relegating other units to support, and Goldmary is a great candidate for that kind of low investment auxiliary fighter. In Hero, she provides chip damage to her teammates while taking a hit here and there. If she baits an attack that misses, you don't even have to heal her for a Brave Assist. Great Knight in general don't have that chip damage, but they do have really high defense. It may be slow, but there are enemy groups Goldmary checkmate simply through raw bulk. As we approach the late game and a number of enemies spirals out of control, simply occupying enemies without dying can be a big deal, even if it's not quite a starring role. If you agree with her that she deserves the limelight, you can make that happen too, even if it's no mean feat. With heavy favoritism, she can go for raw one-round benchmarks, say with Lyn and a power skill, or Marth when he comes back. As with other units in Goldmary's position, the DLC is a big boon. With someone like Hector, she can put in work without taking too much from others. A more limited approach that seems promising is taking a page out of Tamara's book, giving Goldmary Wrath either through Ike or Inheritance and going for crits. If anyone's capable of heavy combat while 30 HP down, it's Goldmary, and her bulk gives you plenty of chances to roll the dice. She can also hit benchmarks with effective damage, which is how I think she really hits her ceiling. There are groups of cavalry or flyers, especially men, that Goldmary solos without the support most units need for a long enemy phase. It's not something you can always set up, but having a few maps where she truly excels helps set her apart from other units in her niche. Rosado really is the last unit who wants a big training arc. Although a hilariously high maintenance character, Goldmary is a low maintenance unit and a template for future recruits. She has a clearly defined role, low ceiling, and high floor. If you're trying to fill out the new normal of 12 deployment slots, it's hard to go wrong with a bulky hero. Her high defense and personal make her a situationally powerful enemy phase fighter, but like Rosado, she's a long way from being your best unit. Or, as she'd put it, keeping her in hero ensures her dazzling brilliance won't overshadow her teammates. Sure. A big reason Merrin's a Griffin is this turn. Clear the Way makes this clear possible. She needs to fight to the south afterwards with Aridfar. If you're not as worried about giving everyone their time in the sun, having a support Griffin without combat responsibilities makes this maneuvering easier.
With perfect poise. Show me the way.
Yes!
It's a great time for run-through. Kagetsu gets a huge boost. This worm has 56 HP and 32 in both bulk stats. It makes capped bulk reinforcements from last map enemies intended to scare you out of fighting them look frail. As if that weren't enough, they start with a 1-3 ranged weapon that ignores defense and resistance, have a 4 ranged weapon in the back, and complete engage meters on attack. This worm's the first of many, so the game gives you an entire turn just to get acquainted. Despite the name, the Worm Slayers only affect against Wyverns and the White Paralyte Worms. These Dark ones are instead weak to Corrupted and Fell Dragon effectiveness, which for now just means Twin Strikes. Fracture is also important for protecting your units. We're instead using chain attacks in 2 strong units. Alear's not one of them, she's getting chipped for reprisal. Kagetsu introduces huge variance, so Amber's flexibility is key here. You can always take out this worm while activating Resolve. Defense doesn't help against worms, but Legu's friend still negates damage.
Right.
You'll get no sympathy from me.
How mysterious. Emblem, engage!
Seadall dances for Amber so he can Great Ether to the north. This is one of the highlights in the career of an early Ike user. A funny subplot of this series has been breaking dialogue scripting. Lapis completely missed her cue for the Smash Weapon introduction, and now Rosado's going to miss his.
Our side's cuter for sure, but by the looks of it, theirs might be tougher.
Worry not, Rosado. With my power, you can punch through even the hardiest foe's defenses. You may also call upon my twin brother's abilities if you like.
If you really want to maximize Rosado, giving him Fence-Lee or Noatune is a good play, but he'll just take a Slim Lance to mitigate his poor luck later.
Power blooms in me.
Kagetsu needs some healing to guarantee survival. That's Sailing's job.
Me, right?
I will obey.
Ivy warps Merrin into her next position, in range of a promoted Griffin Knight. Note how Lapis is positioned for Knightly Escort.
Any customers? This item is not for sale.
Anna gives Merrin Rally Spectrum and prepares to take on the weak unpromoted Flyer. Citrine's basically just here for the sniper rifle, so we want her to exhaust her current engage meter for a second Astra Storm as quickly as possible.
Emblem, engage!
Because we took care to activate Geosphere turn 1, Kagetsu survives both hits here. Because he's Kagetsu, he has great odds to either dodge or crit the Great Lance Cab before getting hit, but we have no way of manipulating this without a restart, so I'm happy it's consistent. With Resolve active, the Thieves deal 1 damage before Laku's friend. That rounds down to 0 if the AI doesn't see that. That's perfect. They muse themselves in the Great Ether range, but don't actually poison him. We also want the Monk in Great Ether range, which happens often but not always. This is easy to rewind, so it's less of a concern. Dealing with a promoted Griffin on enemy phase is a steep ask. It's possible to hit 30 AS with Inherits to 2-shot or 1-shot with the right weapon. Here, Rally Spectrum lets Merrin double. Normally you can enemy phase the 11-sword Flyer with a bow and then player phase the Griffin, but we have places to be. The tides recede, giving us a window of opportunity to take the center. The 55 physical attack required to one-shot the Martial Master is not free. Warning of the strongest man in the business, it doesn't even require a strength tonic. Merrin's taking on the southern group of Royal Knights alone, not something most units can do. They prefer attacking to using status saves, so we won't even see their freeze. Thanks to the terrain, Amber takes out the Great Knight from outside their range, an exact KO thanks to momentum. He uses Ike's hammer to one-shot the Great Knight in enemy phase.
I fight for my friends.
Rosado can take out the Paladin if Kagetsu didn't, but of course he crit, so all he can do is try for chip.
How cute am I?
Alear, empowered by Reprisal, handles the remaining fighter. With Seadall's and Corrin's passive healing, keeping Reprisal active won't be so easy, but as it happens, Alear doesn't really need the full damage stack.
I'm not afraid anymore.
We want to get everyone to the center island pronto, and Byleth's the answer. We set up the formation, and with the spare turn, Ivy can use Obstruct to corral the Mage Knights. She gets Grasping Void, the proc skill I failed to discuss in her analysis. It gives Ivy damage equal to half her foe's magic. If Ivy's magic ever falls short of a KO, it's normally against opposing mages, so Grasping Void can sometimes bail her out. For support Ivy, it's mostly a nuisance.
engage! Let the lesson begin! Ha!
With Ivy refreshed, she engages Corrin for the first time. Dreadful Aura freezes both heroes. Promoted infantry are very difficult to one-round, especially on a fort. That's exactly where Corrin shines. Seadall gives Rosado a boost towards the next worm. Kagetsu gives him Divine Blessing, which is basically irrelevant.
I'll be good. Aw, thanks.
Rosado can attack heroes' RNG manipulation if needed. The worm has long range, so be careful you don't get too close. These Mage Knights have El Thunder, annoyingly, but they also have physical weapons. This lets us get fancy. With Anna having so much more resistance than defense, they see more damage with the swords, meaning Anna can use L Surge to one-round them back. Lapis deserves credit too. With dual support and share spoils, she avoids being the preferred target. Ivy's Obstruct should have been a tile north to actually wall them up from other units, but as you'll see, Anna's a good enough lightning rod it doesn't matter. Goldmary can use this turn to pick up whatever she wants from the convoy. Citrine, thanks to Byleth's mystical bonus, can snipe the guy trying to take our recover staff before he even moves. Strong Acid Storms often mean foregoing the standard limb pairings, but they're invaluable if you want to eliminate time pressure on maps like this one.
As if I lose!
A good wind.
Witness my power!
Smash weapons always attack last when you initiate combat, but if you advantage or the enemy attacks with a smash weapon, you'll go first. Amber won't one-shot the other foe, but Citrine has nothing better to do next turn than clean up.
You'll get no sympathy from me.
The Mage Knights won't attack Merrin so long as she's not in mortal danger.
Farewell to you! Witness my power!
Our bonds are far stronger than destiny! Finished!
Hear that? That's the sound of cold hard cash. After Citrine cleans up, we fight in 3 places.
I need to get stronger until no one can beat me.
First, let's take out the second worm. Saline applies Fracture. Hey, Saline's supposed to be good at hitting staves. That's on me. I had a lot of preps and just completely forgot to equip Staff Mastery. I debate restarting, but I've already gotten past a lot of annoying RNG checks. Saline's hit rate here is still good thanks to Divine Pulse, but with Staff Mastery it's the best you can get. Staff Avoid uses 1.5 times resistance plus half of luck. Worms are tough to hit despite their awful speed. Seadall gives Saline 2 shots, so even with my mistakes this is fairly reliable. Amber can double with Air Raid, a great skill for this map. He doesn't absolutely need the Fracture, but it makes his next turn more reliable. Rosado uses Eirika and Ephraim to finish the worm off, just like they suggest turn 1.
Emblem, engage! I cannot allow this.
No one desires war.
With that sorted, we turn to the heroes. Lapis one-rounds the paladins with Lucina's Noble Rapier, so she equips that while dealing chip with All for One.
I challenge my fate.
I'll lead him.
I skimped out on unlocking Draconic Hex, but Ivy can still use Torrential Roar to inflict -30 avoid, a big help.
I've made my choice.
Alear finishes off the weakest hero, and then Kagetsu guarantees the kill on the one inside the fort. Alear unlocks her class skill, Divine Spirit. I find engage meter counting relatively tough to plan for, so I normally rely on puddles or favorite food, but with her access to cheap brave weapons, Divine Spirit often lets Alear recharge for combat.
Precision, power. We'll be together forever.
Anna and Merrin will handle the southern enemies. For now, they simply regroup. The tides are about to come back, so we have to be ready for them.
Is that a rare critter?
These calves are some of the few foes Rosado can enemy phase, so we let him have one.
Why do we repeat our mistakes?
Lapis easily mops up the promoted paladin and the other calf.
It's over. I cannot lose.
Amber grabs the recover flying solo. He's able to one-round the Great Expo without taking a hit, and with Reprisai he mitigates the danger of the enemy killing Edge thanks to that weapon's native dodge.
Yeah, I saw those troops on the shore. Be careful, alright? And take this. Might help.
Recolor is the final form of Heal and Mend. I'm guessing we'll mainly use it for its hefty XP. Rosado baits the next Griffin, ensuring no crit with his Slim Lance. Without Rally Spectrum Merrin, we want to simply bait him into our range. Everyone else can regroup. For a map introducing Rosado and Goldmary's allies, there are surprisingly few groups of male enemies. As soon as next chapter, we'll see big sections where their personal skills stay active, but not here. An unfortunate consequence of not going full Ivy with the enemy generic designs is that it's not always easy to tell what gender an enemy is. Here the calves are female, the paladins and griffins are male. I can't really complain about that, but a way to check in the details menu would be appreciated. They're the same across a class for a single map, but they aren't totally determined by class as in many previous games. Anna recharges Chrom while rallying Merrin to the southern Griffin. The tides have let us split him from the thieves. Our main squad's a little ahead of schedule, so the tides are blocking them from approaching the bosses. We'll just take this turn to get our training in. With more time, Amber can player phase this Killing Edge foe to avoid the 6% crit chance, and in a perfect world he'd have Resolve active, but he'll just have the chance at. He'll show us what a low percent crit looks like.
Hope this looks cool! Yeah, that's the stuff.
Witness my power.
Merrin's a tad more impressive against the enemy Griffin, but Rosado's doing his job nonetheless.
I'm okay.
Amber could use the Brave Lance to recharge Ike, but he'd be one square out of the action. He'll instead use the Tomahawk. I originally gave him a Strength Tonic and then the Javelin suffices, but we'll just chance the axe.
That settles it.
Ivy, Goldmary, and Anna move into position for reinforcements coming soon. It won't do to wait for the tides. Merrin can help, but not where she is now. Rescue fixes that. First, Merrin takes out a thief and recharges 3 houses. Rescue's 8 range lets us grab Merrin from far away, and then clear the way paves a path for our allies. Sailing can canter through Merrin's aura after the rescue to pick up the puddle and get Byleth back. With Seadall's help and Rosado applying share spoils, Lapis reliably kills the Griffin with Parthia. Rosado ensures Marnie moves fully east.
It's over.
Next turn the tides recede, so Alear and Kagetsu will be able to rejoin the action. Citrine's Astrostorm dominates the map, limiting most of the troublesome units from long range. As much as I'd like to give her another flashy kill, she's instead going to use her awesome power for AI manipulation. By attacking Mavier, she aggroes the whole boss group.
I should have guessed Hortensia's retainers would seek your forces out.
Now what have you? Take this!
What's more, because the monks prioritize healing, they won't support Marnie. Her power actually does matter here, but not how you'd think. One-shotting Mavier is a pipe dream, but Citrine puts him low enough that a single physic doesn't fully heal him, which means one fewer chain guard to deal with. On turn 6, reinforcements appear. This normally creates an interesting dance with the tides, but here it's more about finding matchups. I've split up the team to handle them. It does mean we're not in a particular rush to take out the bosses, because we want to route the map and that takes a turn after these reinforcements appear. For reference, there's another set that appear turn 10 in the middle, including a thief who's quite annoying with covert avoid from the fort.
Me first.
Amber gets a juicy hit on the northern monk, allowing us to feed Rosado a kill.
So unpleasant.
Run through can be handy against bosses, making room for more attackers while preserving chain attack range. Kagetsu engages Marnie.
Huh? We came here to hunt a couple thieves. What are you punks doing here?
Here.
Alear uses Reprisal to take out Marnie's first health bar.
I have it!
Guided by the emblems.
Merrin continues building a cross formation while setting up Fallen Star.
Our time has come.
me now.
I take a moment to make sure things are going according to plan. We usually want Seadall to get refreshed, so often you want a unit to end their turn one square off from the cross so Seadall can dance for them. Lapis can do that to get Lucina back. The Noble Rapier might as well be a pool noodle against Mari's armor, but All for One still does meter damage.
Let's go together. I will never give up.
I'll go first.
No, again.
You're nothing.
Thalian's Goddess Dance gives us the juice to finish Marnie off this turn.
Please grant me your strength. Allow me to demonstrate.
I don't want Mavier running around, so I have a setup that corrals him. Merrin cuts off one flank and uses Obstruct for the other. I've struggled to find places Fallen Star's Avoid effect helps instead of hinders, but having a unit guaranteed to be ignored makes penning Mavier in simpler. The other component of our wall is a summon. Lapis doesn't quite have the Parthia kill on the monk. Alear is the only unit who can actually damage Marnie at this point, and Alear also needs to use Veronica to make that blockade. After making sure my notes aren't mixed up, there is a clear sequence these conditions necessitate. Alear can first take out Marnie, and Lapis can use Divinely Inspiring to take out the second monk with Parthia. Seadall can dance Alear so she can finish blockading Mavier. There's a natural synergy with Fleet's Stealth and Reprisal, avoiding counterattacks so you can fight even badly damaged.
Me first.
Beaten by a bunch of weaklings. Fine. We'll call it even. Next time, though, you're dead. Super duper dead.
Alear's inherited mentorship gives Lapis a little extra XP for her kill.
Hurry.
I cannot lose.
One of Veronica's dragon synergies replaces 3-star pulls with 4-star promoted units. For the vast majority of what I summon for, Chloe's +1 movement is better, but here it probably helps. Basically, we want a unit to survive a round of combat with Mavier, and I imagine there are a few unpromoted units who fail that. Figuring out what color I should pick and whether the dragon bonus actually matters here is too tedious even for me, so let's just agree the bonus is doing a lot.
Come to my aid, hero. This is it.
Anna faces one foe with a smash weapon, so as long as she avoids a hit on player phase, she need only survive one hit.
Our bonds are far stronger
Mage Knight to the north is Elwind. He's a tough customer, but with Corrin and some care, we can prevent him from attacking Ivy. Dreadful Aura pins him down, but because it works on adjacent foes, Ivy can do it from 3 range.
Emblem, engage!
Guess I did it right.
Oof, too bad. Ivy's miss will unfortunately prevent us from rounding the map.
Finished. Our bonds are far stronger than destiny.
With the other half, Anna hits the one shot against the thief.
Finished.
That would matter if she hadn't dodged. Goldmary can get the Mage Knight kill after Ivy uses Torrential Roar, but here I just have Ivy take the easy kill.
Yes. I've decided.
That just leaves Mavier. Our summon negates his Chain Guard. We can entertain ourselves using Fracture to proc Reforge and Mavier. It's a shame that weakening Mavier is Reforge's most important application. The last Veronica Dragon bonus, giving +2 strength magic defense resistance after contract, is marginally increasing our reliability on the second fracture. Not enough, I'm afraid. Don't blame Saline for that one, blame me. I debate rewinding for it, but we'll be fine. Mavier's Darting Stance ability mirrors Darting Blow, giving him an extra 6 speed when we attack him. It makes Mavier surprisingly durable. If he equips the Great Lance, doubling requires a whopping 32 attack speed. It's not every day Kagetsu fails to double a Royal Knight. Run through again makes positioning a bit easier. Lapis picks up another Parthia kill against the last monk.
It's over.
Rosado can pick up the first Mavier kill. Mavier has 10 more HP than expected, so Rosado needs to bail me out of it.
No mercy for mutineers.
Quickly now.
He comes through. Merrin does the honors with Houses Unite Plus, thanks to Amber's repositioning support.
My teacher!
Oh. On my way. Let's do this! That's it. Strategy in motion. Let's see you failed. I have it!
Alas. I withdraw for now, but we will meet again.
Amber collects yet another MVP. It's a great time to fly. Many maps with turning gimmicks are rather infamous, but I think this chapter does a great job of being memorable, strategic, and fair.
The Elusian soldiers have fled. Marnie and Mavi are too. Now we can head to Firene.
Yes, right away. If those ships made landfall, then my people are in danger.
There's a lot of good post-map dialogue, but this one's a personal favorite. As so often in gaming, an urgent crisis in the story is the best time for self-improvement. We have a few paralogs to do before Chapter 17, the Big Kahuna. Next time we'll take on Ike. The enemy density will go up a little bit. Bye papaya.
That cool breeze. Lovely, isn't it? Almost a shame we'll arrive in Firene soon.
I'm surprised you came with us, Zephyr. You're so loyal to Papa. I figured there was no way you'd approve of this.
Oh? Well, your father is my master, but lately his orders have been somewhat concerning.
I know exactly what you mean. He thinks nothing of killing people. I have the same blood in my veins, of course. Maybe it's natural people mistrust me.
Oh, Lady Vale, no. I heard about those awful things the Divine Dragon said. That you killed Lumera? Stole the rings? If I were you, I wouldn't believe a word of it. After hearing who your father was, the Divine Dragon probably said that to hurt your feelings.
I've decided I won't harm anyone, ever. Even if it costs me my life. So, I'm not going back to Papa. I don't want to destroy this world.
How kind-hearted of you.
If you two really want to help, then after I've cleared up this misunderstanding, will you help me find my sibling?
What a silly thing to say. You are Lord Sombron's only child. You have no brothers or sisters.
That's not true. We've met. Look at this.
How beautiful. It looks like a dragonstone.
It is a dragonstone. 1,000 years ago, I was crying, and one of my siblings gave it to me. I remember it well. Even though I can't stay with you, I'll always be your friend. If you're sad or lonely, remember, if this stone is intact, that means I'm still alive. As you can see, in all this time, it hasn't even cracked.
But that means... What does that mean?
It means my sister is still alive. And I'm going to find her. Perhaps with her help, I can convince Papa to end this horrible war. Sophia, is something wrong?
No, I'm just so... moved. After we've finished our business in Firene, Gris and I will help find your sibling.
Thank you. I've been looking on my own this whole time. You two will be a big help.
Look, Lady Vale. Firene on the horizon. Why don't you take in the view? Maybe reflect on what you'll say to patch things up?
Good idea.
Another one of Lord Sombron's children survived?
First I'm hearing of it.
I don't understand. They all perished in the war 1,000 years ago. All of them except Lady Vale, who was too young to fight. I watched it happen, Gris. Watched as each and every one of them met their end. Unless... No.
What? Remember something?
It's only a hunch. But if I'm right, we may have a problem on our hands.
Good thing we heard this before she fell asleep.
Yes. After all, once we've gotten to Firene and uncovered the truth, she will never awaken again.